Long, long ago, in a quiet corner of the world, there was a small village nestled right beside a gentle, flowing river. The houses were made of wood and stone, and the villagers lived a simple, peaceful life. But this was no ordinary river. It held a secret. A beautiful, magical secret. Every time the moon was full, hanging in the night sky like a silver coin, the river would begin to sing. It wasn't a roar or a crash, but a soft, humming tune that floated through the air, a melody so beautiful it could soothe the most restless heart. The villagers loved it. They would open their windows to let the river's lullaby drift into their homes. The children especially loved the song. They would sit by the riverbank, their eyes wide with wonder, listening as the water whispered its nightly tune. But among them was one boy who was not content just to listen. His name was Milo, and he was filled with a curiosity as wide as the river itself. He didn't just want to hear the song, he wanted to know why the river sang. He would ask the elders, "Who is singing in the water?" They would just smile and say, "It's the river's magic, my boy." But that wasn't enough for Milo. He was determined to find the source of the melody. So, one night, under the brilliant light of a full moon, Milo decided he would find the answer. The river's song was clearer than ever, and something was different this time. The waves seemed to shimmer with an unusual, soft glow, pulsing in time with the music. Milo's heart thumped with excitement. He knew this was his chance. He began to walk along the riverbank, his eyes fixed on the glowing water, following it like a path of liquid moonlight. He walked further than he ever had before, past the familiar oak tree and beyond the patch of cattails. The music grew stronger, the humming more distinct, as if he was getting closer to the singer. The glowing waves led him around a sharp bend in the river to a small, hidden cove where weeping willows dipped their leaves into the water. And there, sitting on a smooth, mossy stone at the river's edge, was a tiny creature, no bigger than Milo's hand. It shimmered with a faint blue light, and tears that looked like tiny pearls rolled down its cheeks. It was a water sprite, and it was crying. The beautiful, sad song was coming directly from this tiny being. Its voice was small, but it carried through the water, amplified by the river until it became the powerful melody the whole village could hear. Milo approached slowly, not wanting to frighten it. The sprite looked up, its large, watery eyes filled with sorrow. "Why are you crying?" Milo asked gently. The sprite's voice was like the tinkling of tiny bells. "My voice carries through the river," it whispered, "but I am too small for the villagers to see. They hear my song, but they don't know I am here. I sing because I am lonely." Milo's heart went out to the little sprite. He finally understood. The river wasn't magical on its own. It was a stage for this tiny, lonely performer. He looked at the sprite and smiled warmly. "You don't have to be big to be heard," he said. "Your song reaches everyone, and you don't have to be lonely." A wonderful idea began to form in his mind. He knew just what to do. He rushed back to the village, his feet barely touching the ground. He gathered his friends, explaining everything he had seen. He told them about the small, lonely sprite and its beautiful, sad song. Then he grabbed his small drum, and his friends brought their wooden flutes and anything else that could make a joyful noise. They followed Milo back to the hidden cove, their hearts filled with excitement and a little bit of wonder. When they arrived, the sprite was still there, humming its lonely tune. Milo gave a nod to his friends. He started a soft, gentle rhythm on his drum, tapping along with the river's song. Then a flute joined in, its notes dancing around the sprite's melody. Soon all the children were playing their simple instruments, creating a new, vibrant harmony that mixed perfectly with the river's song. The lonely hum was transformed into a joyous symphony. The water sprite peeked out from behind a willow branch, its eyes wide with surprise and then delight. A huge smile spread across its tiny face. It wasn't lonely anymore. From that night on, every full moon became a celebration. The villagers would gather by the riverbank with lanterns and instruments. The children would play alongside the river's song, and the adults would dance. The little water sprite, no longer sad, would lead the chorus with its beautiful voice, its heart full of joy. The river still sings its song every full moon. And if you ever find yourself by its banks and you listen very, very closely, you might just hear the happy hum of a tiny water sprite singing with all of its friends. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves a little bit of magic. See you next time.